your name? Don't you play this game? You from another land, got you like it's contraband. Tell me what's your name? Don't you play this game? You from another land, got you like it's contraband.
What's up, guys? Keisha here, back at you with a remake, you could say. This is gonna be a remake of what if Naruto basically was Zeus, or you could say the reincarnation of Zeus, or you could say this, or has Zeus powers. But pretty much, I wanted to do a remake because I wanted to say thank you guys for still staying and subscribing to me, and also that I just want to explain why I haven't been doing videos. First reason is why I haven't been doing videos because I haven't got monetized, but now I got monetized, so everything's good now. And two, I haven't really had everything situated, so I couldn't really do videos. I didn't have enough time, but now I got the time, so now I'm definitely going to be doing videos for y'all guys. But for another thing is, I want y'all guys to pretty much I want y'all guys to let me know, or just to basically go down in the comments and tell me what videos y'all want me to do next. I need y'all help on that part because yeah, I can do a lot of videos, but I want to hear y'all guys' idea and I will do it for y'all. But other than that, I just want to thank the OGs who has still subscribed to me and stayed and waiting for me to do another video. I thank y'all on that. But other than that, there's gonna be a part 1 and 2 of What If Naruto was Zeus. And yeah. But anywho, I will create a post that I already created a post, so make sure to just check out my posts and just put down what if video y'all want next. But other than that, let's get this started. So to basically get this started, I'm going to basically set some ground rules. So basically, this what if is not going to be about the Greek mythology about Zeus. It's going to kind of be a little bit of both, a little bit, maybe a little bit of both, but it's most likely going to be God of War Zeus. And no, it's not going to be the corrupted God of War Zeus. It's going to be like Zeus who has Naruto's basically going to have Zeus powers from God of War, where he can basically do multiple clones. He can summon clowns. He can create big electricity, and also make electric balls that would do zaps or like do electric lightning and stuff and all that. And also make himself a giant in the sort of sense. But pretty much that's going to be Naruto's power. If you want me to add anything else, just put it down in the comments and I will, do it in the next part, in part 3. But pretty much, let's get this started. So, we start off with pretty much Zeus and the gods. We're going to say the Ragnarok, or should I say the battle between Titans and the gods. Everything goes backfired. Basically, half of the gods are dead, and pretty much half the Titans are dead. This is where there's one more Titan, and Zeus is fighting with the Titan. This is where pretty much this is the final act, and the Titan grabs Zeus and pretty much is ready to end him. This is where Zeus pretty much uses his lightning, and pretty much finish the Titan off, but at the same time dies in the process, you could say. Now this is where Zeus pretty much saved Olympus and stuff, but died in the process. The rest of the gods pretty much some of the gods that's still alive will pretty much rebuild and all that stuff. But this is where his soul, or you could say his godly soul essence, will travel to another universe. And this is where it's going to be the Naruto universe. Now, this is where his soul will transfer into young baby Naruto. Well, before Naruto can be born. He basically transferred into be rebirth, or you could say reincarnated into Naruto. Now, this is where we start off with Kushina, and the same part where Kushina is giving birth to Naruto, and this is where Naruto will be birthed, but he will be birthed as Zeus, you could say. Basically, Naruto will be having yellow hair and basically not yellow hair, white hair and white eyebrows. Which Minato would look a little bit weirded out by it, but he would still love his child Ioway. Now, this is where, sorry about that. This is where pretty much Minato and Kushina will love their child until Obito will come in and grab Naruto. Pretty much. Now, as he grabs Naruto, this is where he's pretty much holding a kunai to Naruto and pretty much saying, "No way moves, or this baby's gonna get it." This is where pretty much Naruto, well, things will be a little different. This is where Naruto will pretty much start crying and pretty much will let out a big electric shock, pretty much shocking the shit out of Obito, making him pretty much let go of Naruto and fall back and almost fall to the ground. This is where Minato would quickly teleport and grab Naruto and Kachina and teleport them out of there, and pretty much form a Rasengan quickly in his hand and teleport back, throwing the Rasengan right at Minato before he can hit the ground. This is where pretty much Minato is using the full force of the Rasengan and sending Obito flying out the building. This is where Obito would pretty much get flying out the building and hit the ground and start um, gasping for air, or you could say very damaged. This is where his arm is start melting out and stuff and all that. This is where Minato is about to finish him off with a second Rasengan and capture him until Obito immediately, teleported there with his Mangekyo and pretty much, warp out of there or Kamui away. This is where Minato says, damn, but he pretty much teleport back to his wife and checking up if they're alright and stuff. And this is where Kushina pretty much says, yeah, they're pretty much fine. Sorry about that, let's continue. But this is where pretty much Kushina will say, yeah, they're pretty much fine. Naruto's not hurt and stuff. And Minato will be in a side of relief, but happy that they're not gone or anything bad happened. So good news is the Nine Tails didn't happen, and Kushina and Minato is alive. But let's continue. What else changes? Pretty much after that, the whole council meeting has happened, and Minato tells what's happening. And this is where Danzo would pretty much says Madara. So, and this is where Danzo would pretty much try to say some crazy shit and say like, oh, maybe the Uchiha has something to do with it, and try to get the Uchiha in trouble. Which this is where Minato would say, nope, they had nothing to do with it. They was on their patrol doing their job, and pretty much he tells Danzo to like stop trying to plot some shit or like pretty much clown Danzo. But pretty much this is where I would say 1 week passed, or yeah, probably no 1 month passed, and the Uchihas will pretty much get their reputation back and get brought back into the village, so they won't be in concentration camps. And also Danzo Anbu thing will still be there just for specific reasons for plot. But yeah, pretty much this is where everything else will be different now. But pretty much this is where we're going to have a time skip, and we're going to have a 5-year-old Naruto. Now, this 5-year-old Naruto will already have some of the abilities unlocked for him, such as shooting lightning, creating lightning clones in a young age, and also will learn how to summon a cloud so he can fly over it and stuff. He doesn't learn how to transfer to animals and stuff yet, or people yet, so, but he will have that ability to do so. But let's continue. Pretty much this is where we're gonna have and this is where Naruto and Sasuke will meet with each other much earlier than in canon, because Kushina was great friends with you could say Sasuke's mom. So yeah, Naruto's gonna meet Sasuke for a very young age, and they're gonna be good friends but also rivals. But let's continue. Pretty much this is where let me see. This is where pretty much we start with the Naruto meeting up with Hinata from a young age. Pretty much this is where Naruto is pretty much walking home and it's snowing, and this is where the bullies will be messing with Hinata, basically calling her a Hyuga, with bright eyes, calling her a freak and stuff. Which this is where Naruto will pretty much walk up to him and say, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" Which pretty much this is where the two bullies is about to run away. Which one of the bullies say, I'm not afraid of you and stuff, and pretty much walks up to Naruto and grab him, and it's the big bully. Which this is where Naruto will smile and be like, "You should not touch me." Which this is where the bully's about to punch Naruto until, of course, he gets shocked, and he pretty much gets shocked, not too deadly to kill him, but shock enough to pee his pants. This is where he falls on the ground and pees on himself, making like a red stain on the snow, and he pretty much gets up and runs away, calling Naruto a monster and a freak. Which Naruto doesn't really care, because he thinks of himself more as a god complex and stuff and all that stuff, because like I said, he will have Zeus personality. So yeah, but this is where pretty much Naruto will meet up with Hinata and pretty much pick her up and ask if she's alright, grab her hand, which she will say yeah, and Naruto will pretty much, get to know her better and stuff, and a little bit make him moves, because Zeus is like that, he's a player, but pretty much this is where he will talk to her and stuff and says, well, it was nice meeting her, and pretty much just fly away. Well, not fly away, just walk away. Now this is where, of course, the same thing will happen as original canon, and she will fall have a crush for Naruto. Now let's do another time skip. Now this is where we're gonna have a 10-year-old Naruto, and this Naruto will be having quite a little bit longer hair, and his eyes will be pure white, kind of like Zeus. So he doesn't have like, oh no, his eyes is not gonna be pure white. He's gonna have yellow eyes, like yellow eyes. But pretty much Naruto will be joyful. His personality will be joyful and stuff, and a little bit laughing, cunning and stuff, and also ultra eagle. Have an eagle and stuff like that. But he will also like be almighty and stuff. So yeah, he will back it up. So yeah, pretty much. And Naruto outfit will be the same, but he will have a necklace and stuff and all that. But pretty much this is where Naruto will pretty much waking up, and he will be heading to the academy. And yeah, this is going to be like the academy arc, but pretty much yeah, he'll be waking up, heading to the academy and stuff, and walking there. Well, hopping on a cloud and pretty much flying there on a cloud and just like yawning. This is where, as he's going to the academy, he pretty much makes it there, and this is where all the girls are like going up to pretty much. Well, they're pretty much at Sasuke table, sitting with him and stuff, and like talking to him while class haven't started yet, and they're like saying, "Oh my God, Sasuke, like you're so cool and stuff," being his whole fan boy base and all that. But pretty much this is where Naruto will come in, and this is where the girls immediately will look at Naruto and run up to Naruto and make that key noise and all that stuff and saying, "Oh my God, Naruto, you're finally here," and stuff, and like be flirting all over him and stuff. And Naruto will be like, "Now, ladies, calm down. The class is about to start, so we all need to get to a seat." Which all the girls would be like blushing and stuff and saying okay and head back to the seat. This is where the teacher will come in, and it's going to be Ruka Sensei. So this is where Naruto will sit by Sasuke and stuff, and fist bump Sasuke and all that stuff, and yeah. But pretty much this is where Ruka Sensei will be pretty much saying, "All right, everybody come out. We're about to do a test. See what y'all got. And see, who's good and stuff." This is where Haruka Sensei will start doing the tests and stuff, and everything will happen in original canon. And this is where he will start up the fighting thing. You're seeing who's good and not good, basically. But this is where everybody will start fighting with each other and stuff and doing all that. But this is where Sasuke and Naruto will start fighting with each other. And this is where Sasuke will pretty much come at Naruto, and Naruto will pretty much run at Sasuke, and they will be fighting each other face to face, doing combating. This is where Sasuke will do some combos, and Naruto will just dodge half of their attacks and pretty much punch Sasuke back. This is where Sasuke would jump up and shoot a fireball that he learned from his father. And Naruto would pretty much look at the fireball and smile. And he would pretty much create a light electric ball, and he would just throw it right at the fireball, pretty much dispersing it, you could say. Now, this is where Naruto would pretty much say, "Okay, I got something for you." And he'll pretty much run at Sasuke, having one finger pointed, and pretty much run straight at Sasuke and just pointed at him and just shock him. He's not trying to kill Sasuke, he just wants to defeat him real quickly. And he pretty much shocks Sasuke, pretty much knocking him out. Which, the teachers say Naruto Uzumaki is the winner, which all the girls are a little bit sad that Sasuke lost, but they're still saying he's going to get you next time, which Naruto said, "Oh, I'm sure he will," which he's just smiling and laughing. But let's continue. Pretty much after that, we're going to pretty much have Naruto go back home, and he pretty much meets up with his mom and have dinner and all that. Now we're gonna get with the what's his name? Pretty much the scroll ceiling arc, you could say. Now, this is where pretty much Naruto will talk with, well, not pretty much head back to school the next day, and goodness, sorry about that. Pretty much we'll head back to the academy the next day, and pretty much sit next Sasuke, and this is where Ruka will well, no, we're gonna pretty much skip it, and we're gonna say they all just do class and work and stuff and all that regular cut. But this is the final part, and this is where Ruka will be doing the shot contest. Now, This is where everybody's doing the shadow clone test and stuff. And I say this right now: Naruto, Naruto doesn't really need, Naruto doesn't really need chakra. Naruto has chakra, but he doesn't really need to use the chakra because, well, he will only use the chakra to climb trees and water, and also like walk on water. But other than that, he doesn't need chakra because he already has godly power. So like doing jutsus and stuff, he doesn't really need to do that. But if you want him to do jutsus, please put it down in the comments. But other than that, let's continue. Pretty much Naruto will create a lightning clone of himself. Not a jutsu of a lightning clone, just a lightning clone of himself. Like a double image of himself. And this is where pretty much he will say, do I pass? Which Aruka in the class will be like clapping their hands saying amazing and stuff, saying that's pretty cool. Which Naruto will pretty much sit down while his doppelganger self and his clone would pretty much just be like going to the teacher's test and saying, all right guys, since he's already sitting down, it's time for me to teach y'all something, which the class is laughing and stuff, and Iruka's laughing saying, haha Naruto, and they'll dismiss it, which Naruto's saying, I don't know what you're talking about. That's his own person. I can't control it. Which the clone is basically saying, yeah, that's true. He can't control me. Which the class is still laughing, and Ruka's saying, all right. Which Naruto says, all right, and he pretty much snapped his finger, and pretty sure makes the clone of himself disappear in a burst of lecture. Making a little pizzazz and stuff, which everybody gets amazed and impressed. Pretty much after that, this is where Naruto will pretty much just see everybody else does, and pretty much it all goes well. And this is where we pretty much have the final fight, and everybody does their fight and stuff. And this is for the Rookie of the Year, so this is where Naruto and Sasuke will have their fight. And Naruto will pretty much fight with Sasuke, and Sasuke will pretty much learn some new techniques. So he'll pretty much shoot a fireball at Naruto again, and Naruto will just dodge it and be like, "Really, the same move again?" And he said, I knew you was gonna dodge it or block it. So this is why I prepared this for you." Which this is where Sasuke will use the same technique that Shisui perfected, the body flicker, but Sasuke haven't perfected it at all, like at yet. So this is where he would try to use the body flicker technique while doing the clone and try to do it. And this is where he will get a couple of hits in, but he's using a lot of chakra. So this is where, as he's using a lot of chakra, he pretty much thinks, after using that combo, he will hit Naruto and damage him. Which this is where Naruto pretty much is like saying, I'm impressed, Sasuke, but you need a little bit more strength. And this is where Naruto will create his clones and be like, let me show you a true technique of body flicker. Which Sasuke says, how do you know that? Which this is where he says, this is where Naruto says, let me show you the true body flicker. And this is where Naruto will use his quick speed, and he will pretty much flick like electric, like lightning, you could say, quick as lightning. And he'll pretty much start punching Sasuke left and right with his clone, with his lightning clone, like left and right. One will be punching Sasuke on the left side in the face, while the other one will punch him by the side. And the one will punch him in the gut, while the other one will kick him down. And it's just like Sasuke's getting beat up. And this is where Naruto will finish it by just using his hand and just shock like little lightning bolts at Sasuke, and pretty much just knocking him out. And Naruto will be declared the winner. But after that, this is where Naruto will pretty much wake up Sasuke and heal him, because I'm going to give him that power, like lightning healing. So he will heal Sasuke up and pretty much says, are you okay? Which Sasuke will be like, yeah, but he's a little frustrated, but he said he's going to get him next time. Which Naruto says, you better make sure of that. And he pretty much grabbed Sasuke's hand and pulled him up. After that, this is where Naruto will be leaving, and it's going to be late, so... Oh, well, no. Naruto pretty much leaves and get some Ichiran ramen. But after that, this is where Naruto's about to walk home until he sees a student with the scroll of sealing. Now, he knows this is not his business to care and stuff, but he's going to be nosy, and he follows the kid. Now, as he follows the kid, he pretty much is following him and stuff, and trying to see what's going on and all that stuff. what's going on and stuff like that. This is where he pretty much sees the kid. Um, well, yeah, pretty much this is where he sees the kid, and he's going. Well, yeah, he's pretty much going in the forest and stuff with the scroll, and this is where Naruto will follow him. This is where he sees the kid like sitting down and opening up the scroll, while Naruto will be right behind him and says, "Hey, what you doing?" Which this is where the kid will freak out and says, "Ah!" And pretty much Naruto says, "Whoa, calm down, calm down. Why did you? So why do you have the scroll ceiling? And why did you steal it?" Which this is where the kid is explaining his situation and why did he steal it, and how come he has the scroll. Which he explains to Naruto that Miski uh, says that he can pass if he can learn the Shadow Clone Jutsu, the Mochi Shadow Clone Jutsu, and also and hand him the scroll. Which Naruto already knows that this kid's getting played, and this is where Naruto will pretty much explain to the kid that he's getting played, but he will let him learn the scroll, let him learn that one jutsu, and pretty much yeah, let him pretty much learn it. But in exchange, he has to put that scroll back, which the kid agrees, and he pretty much learns the jutsu, and Pat does it right, and pretty much he pretty much tells the kid to go off and go return that scroll and tell his father, if his father's still in the office, if his father went back in the office, that there's a traitor in the village and he's going to handle it. Which this is where the kid says okay. He starts going back, running back. Now this is where Naruto will head into the forest more and pretty much confront Mizuki. This is where Mizuki pretty much would jump down. Well, this is where Naruto would say, "Hey Mizuki, calm down. I know you're there," which he can sense the energy, a little bit like surge energy inside, or you could say life force. You could say completely, and pretty much tell him to come down. This is where Mizuki will come down and says, "Oh Naruto, what are you doing here?" Which this is where Naruto says, "I know you're the traitor. You're trying to steal the scroll ceiling. So tell me why you're trying to steal the scroll ceiling." Which Mizuki pretty much is not telling him and just brings out his kunai, throw like the Shining Shuriken and throws it at him. This is where, of course, Naruto will like just dodge it and pretty much says, "Huh? So you're just trying to kill me now, so you don't blurt out the secret?" Which Mizuki pretty much will like laugh and says, "Huh? Funny you should say that, you nine tails Shinchuriki." Which Naruto would be confused and saying, "What do you mean by that?" Saying, "Oh, so your father didn't tell you that you have the nine tails Shinchuriki in you?" Well, you could say half of it, which Naruto is shocked and saying, "What?" Which this is where, for that little confusion, he would throw another Sharingan Shuriken at Naruto, which this is where Aruka will come in the way and uh, grab Naruto and make sure he doesn't get hit by it. This is where pretty much Naruto will snap out of it immediately and says, "Wait, I have a nine tails inside me," which Mizuki is like pretty much laughing, saying, "So your father didn't tell you? While your birth, you was attacked by an unknown man, and pretty much your father your father was pretty much ever since you got birthed, your father split the nine tails and wanted to give you it. Will give you half of it, while the other one be with your mom." Which this is where Naruto is shocked, but not like too shocked. Which he's saying, "Okay, so I just talked to my father about it earlier, but right now I'm gonna bring you down." Which this is where Mizuki says, "As you go ahead and try." This is where original and canon Naruto will pretty much create multiple clones of himself, and all of them would just pretty much be walking to Mizuki. And then this is where they all walk to him, and one would charge at him, which Mizuki would pretty much grab his kunai and swing and cut the clone, but this clone will explode in electricity, like kind of like an electric bomb, and blows up and shocking Mizuki, sending him flying to a tree, which he'd be like, "What the?" Which this is where all the clones would be like saying at the same time, saying, I hope you enjoy a good shock because I'm about to be shocking to death." Which this is where all the clones are running in, jumping on him, like blowing up and stuff, and he just gets punched and beat up and stuff, and this electric just blows all in one, shocking him, pretty much nearly killing him with electricity, but he's just out. This is where Naruto will, of course, get praised by Aruka Sensei, and pretty much Aruka would do the same thing in original Ken. giving Naruto the headband much earlier, and pretty much saying he will be a great ninja just like his father. Which Naruto will say thanks, and he says he knows he's gonna be a better one than his father. Which he pretty much laughs about it and says he's gonna be a Hokage. No, more than that, a god Hokage. Which he laughs. Which Aruka pretty much laughs with him. But pretty much this is where Mizuki gets captured and get interrogated. But later on, let's just continue. So this is gonna be part 2 now. And why is that? I'm just gonna do a quick pause and then I'm gonna come back. Alright. So this is part 2. Let's get this started. So pretty much after pretty much after all that, this is where all the teams will get assigned. Get all signs. Now all the teams will get assigned the same, including Team 7. Pretty much this is where Ruka will start getting up and calling out the Team 7. Team 7, Naruto Uzumaki, which Naruto will be smiling, which, showing, flexing off and stuff, smiling. Naruto, pretty much Naruto. Sasuke Uchiha, pretty much Sasuke will just, be, already ready. And, Sasuke and Naruto will give each other a fist bump. And the last one, of course, will be Sakura Haruno, which Sasuke and Naruto would be like, good Naruto. Like, I know Naruto will be a flirty type, be a playboy, you could say, because Zeus is. But he would be like, because Naruto has standards, okay? But pretty much this is where Sakura will be like, so excited because she's on both teams. She's on the same team with Sasuke and Naruto, so she's like, oh my god, freaking out and all that stuff. But this is where pretty much this is all the teams, and this is where all the senseis will be coming in, grabbing their teams and stuff, except for Team 7. Now, this is where Naruto will pretty much just be chilling with Sasuke, pretty much talking to him, and they'd be having a conversation and stuff. And this is where Sakura will be pretty much be socially awkward. Like, she's like, oh, should I talk to him? Or should I talk to both of them? Should I say hi to them? Like, oh my god, what am I supposed to say? And this is where, of course, Kakashi will come a little late, but he will come in, and he will look at the team, which Naruto will already know Kakashi. And be like, oh, Kakashi Sensei. Which Sasuke will say, oh, you know him? Which Naruto will say, yeah. This is my father's pupil where he had on the scene before, which this is where Kakashi would be like, hey Naruto. Which this is where Naruto would be like, so you are a sensei? Which he'll say yes. Now, everybody head up to the rooftop, which pretty much this is where Naruto will head up to the rooftop, pretty much teleport there. I'm going to say he unlocked the teleporting video, so he would teleport there. Sasuke, he will pretty much do a little bit of a flight flicker, not master it, but he will, get up there too, and Sakura would be the only last one there. But pretty much this is where they wait for Sakura, and Sakura's up there finally. And this is where pretty much everybody was explaining themselves and stuff and their goals. Sakura will be the same, of course. Sasuke will be a little different. He will say that he wants to be like his brother Itachi, strong and powerful, and also wants to have his father to acknowledge him and stuff. So that'll be that. Kakashi will be the same as usual. And Naruto's will be a little bit different. He will pretty much say, hi, my name is Naruto Uzumaki, or you can just call me Naruto. Which, this is where he pretty much says my hobbies, pretty much fighting, pretty much enjoying good time, partying, also doing a little fighting, getting stronger, you could say. Well, not really. Naruto wouldn't say that. He would just be like partying, having a good time, just enjoying life. His dislikes, people who would think they're better than him or higher than him, which they're not, which he's the only superior one. And his goal, no, it's not really a goal. He says it's a reality. He's going to become a god Hokage. Basically, I would combine the god and Hokage at the same time, so he's basically going to be the god Hokage. But pretty much, yeah, that's what he says. Now this is where Kakashi is intrigued and he says, okay. And this is where Kakashi says tomorrow's gonna be bell test. Don't eat or you're gonna puke. Which he pretty much dismissed the class. This is where Sasuke and Naruto will be heading to the Ichiban ramen, which pretty much Naruto will hop on his cloud, which he would say Naruto Sasuke asks Sasuke does he want to hop on the cloud to come with him to get some ramen, which Sasuke will say, yeah, okay. Which this is where Sakura is about to say something until, she takes too long and they pretty much just leave. And she gets upset about it. Now, the next day, this is where they're all meeting up. And Naruto pretty much is just on a cloud eating some ramen. And he pretty much just, he pretty much just like eating some ramen and stuff. And Sasuke and Sakura says, why are you eating food? He just says not to eat. Which Naruto is pretty much explaining that they should eat because if they don't, they're gonna run out of energy. They're not gonna have any energy to eat and do the bell test. So this is where he pretty much offered Sakura and Sasuke some ramen and tell them to eat up. They're gonna need the energy. Which at first Sasuke is saying no, but he eventually he eats some, and then Sakura does too. Well, yeah. Pretty much after they eat ramen, this is where Kakashi comes in, and he pretty much makes his same excuse of as always, saying, I'm sorry, guys. Sorry that I'm late. There was a black cat. He had to move somewhere else. But the black cat kept going in his path, so he just pretty much couldn't do anything. Which Naruto is just laughing it off, saying, haha, like, oh, it's perfectly fine in my book. Hey, you didn't want to have bad luck. I say I'll do the same too, Kakashi, which he's laughing about it. Sasuke is a little bit mad and saying, don't waste my time. I'm trying to get stronger and stuff. Like kind of the sense like that being mean, which Sakura doesn't really say anything, but of course she follows Sasuke because of course we all know why, and says, yeah, you should not be late, which he says sorry about that, which Naruto says there's nothing to be sorry about, Sensei. Let's get this started. Now, this is where of course they will meet up in the field, and he will have two bells. This is where he pretty much says, all right, here's the bell test, which he says all you have to do is just grab these bells and y'all pass. Which this is where Naruto will already look and notice the two bells and says, okay. And will already think like, okay, this is about using teamwork. This is where, of course, Sakura will point out the obvious, saying there's only two bells. Which Kakashi will say, well, yeah, there are only two bells. That means one of y'all will get sent back. Which this is putting a whole shock realization to Sasuke and Sakura. But Naruto, no. It doesn't shock him. He already knows what it is. Naruto's smart as shit, so he already knows, like, this is about using teamwork. He wants us to use teamwork and see how our teamwork is. Which Naruto pretty much will make a raised eyebrow, but he wouldn't make a face of concern. Which Kakashi would notice a little bit, but he doesn't pay too much of it. This is where pretty much he pretty much will put the bells in his by the side of his waist, and he will pretty much does the countdown and saying 3, 2, 1, go, and they pretty much will all disperse. Now, this is where they all disperse, except for Naruto. Well, yeah, this is where they will all disperse, and Naruto will pretty much create Electrochrome. Well, no, we're going to do something different. They pretty much all disperse. This is where Naruto will pretty much run and find Sasuke immediately and explains to Sasuke that this bell test is about teamwork. Which Sasuke would trust Naruto and understand what he's talking about because, like I said, they're friends. And they're tribal friends, so he would be like, okay, I'll follow your plan, in which Naruto would tell Sasuke the plan. This is where Naruto will find Sakura and explain to her the plan with Sasuke and explain what they're going to do. Which, this is where she nods and agrees and they start the plan. Now, this is where pretty much the plan is get started, and Naruto pretty much creates a clone and also Sasuke, and their clones are pretty much out, ready to fight with Kakashi. Now, this is where Kakashi sees that Naruto and Sasuke is running straight at him, which he's saying, this is interesting, which he's still reading his book. This is where Naruto will throw a little bit of a lightning bolt straight at Kakashi, which Kakashi will straight up notice, seeing it with quick speed, and immediately, like, dodge out the way. This is where Sasuke will jumps in and shoots two fireballs, and the two fireballs will straight up. One of the fireballs will hit Kakashi, but the second one will miss. This is where Kakashi will be like, okay, I see. And this is where he'll pretty much say, all right, let me put my book away. And he gets a little serious. This is where Kakashi will run straight at Sasuke, and this is where Sasuke will have, combat with Kakashi, which Naruto jumping in as well. Now, this is where Kakashi will pretty much be fighting with Sasuke and Naruto and stuff. And this is where Sakura will run in and try to grab the bells. This is where Kakashi will pretty much back away, and he'll pretty much lift up his Sharingan, pretty much get more serious now. Now, this is where Kakashi will pretty much run at Sakura and pretty much hit her with the Genjutsu, putting her to sleep, but he doesn't know that's a clone, you could say. But pretty much this is where Sakura will hit the ground and pass out, which Sasuke will realize that Kakashi has a Sharingan, but he wouldn't really get mad of how he get the Sharingan. He will get shocked of how he got the Sharingan, like how he has the Sharingan, and wonder if he's a Uchiha. But he crossed that by his mind and keeps charging at Kakashi and keep fighting. Now this is where Kakashi will, of course, dispatch Sasuke and Naruto, kicking them both, punching one in the stomach and kicking one in the face. And as they get punched in the face, this is where Sasuke, you could say, clone dispersed and Kakashi is shocked. And Naruto clone blows up into electric, pretty much shocking Kakashi a little bit and sending him flying back. And he's saying, "What? What the?" Which this is where Sakura will grab Kakashi at the bottom of the ground. Which this is where Sasuke will shoot another fireball at Kakashi, pretty much hitting him with it and damaging Kakashi very badly. But it's not over yet. This is where Naruto will, of course, create a clouds around the area, and he'll pretty much be like, "You ready for this, Kakashi?" Which this is where he says, "Wait, what are you doing?" Which he says, "Shock." Which this is where he will bring down a big bolt of lightning, shocking Kakashi straight down. Now this is where Kakashi will get paralyzed from the way down and fall to the ground. Can't even move. Which this is where Sakura will run in and grab the bells and pretty much hand one to Naruto and pretty much will hold the other one and walk to Sasuke. This is where Kakashi is pretty much down and he gets up pretty much saying, "Ugh, look like I grabbed the bells for me." And I pretty much passed. Which this is where Kakashi praises them on their teamwork, and the bell test was about teamwork, and he also gives up the same speech as always. Now this is where he pretty much says that they can go back home because now he needs to heal up and get some rest because they did a little bit of number one, which they laugh and Naruto laugh and they continue on. Now let's continue. Now pretty much this is where we get to the bridge art now. Now this is where pretty much Naruto is pretty much chilling and stuff and all that, and they begin to start doing regular missions and all that stuff. As they're doing regular missions, they're doing this pretty much same missions as always and stuff. And this is where Naruto is kind of getting a little bit bored. Well, a lot of bored. This is where pretty much Sasuke and Naruto gets bored and say these missions are boring and it's beneath them. This is where they go to pretty much Naruto goes to his father, and he pretty much asks his dad, saying, "Father, can I please get a higher mission? This is all boring." Which, of course, Sasuke will come right behind saying, "Yeah, it's quite boring, and this is beneath him, and they want a higher mission." Which this is where Minato will look at Naruto and says, "Now, son, I know you're ready. I feel like you're ready. You have the potential, son. I know you're ready, but what about your team?" Which Minato will look at Kakashi, which Kakashi says, "Yes, they're ready." Which this is where Minato says, "Okay, I will give you a higher mission. And this will be a higher mission to protect Tazuna." Now this is where Minato will call in Tazuna, and Tazuna will pretty much come in. Yeah, will pretty much come in and look at the whole team. Now, of course, this is where he will be drunk and stuff and says, "Is this team supposed to protect me? What are these brats gonna do?" Which this is where Naruto will look at him and not get mad. Well, he will get mad and be like, "What you say?" Which he'll pretty much form electricity around him, saying, "You dare speak about me and my team?" Which, he's not only speaking for himself, but he's speaking about his team. Which this is where Tarzan would get scared and be like, what? And Kakashi would tell Naruto to calm down, including Minato, which Naruto would be like, okay, I'm joking. I'm calm down. But he needs to watch his tongue, which Tarzan will, of course, still be drunk and try to fight back, but he will know to shut up. But pretty much after that, this is where the whole team will get ready and they start heading out. Now, as they're heading out, this is where Naruto will pretty much notice. Well, as they're going, Naruto will pretty much notice a puddle on the ground and Sasuke because this is now they're sharp, but it's out for soccer. This is where Naruto will notice and be like, "Huh, that's weird. It haven't rained for a whole year. It haven't been raining." Which Naruto would know because he you could say he is the weather itself. So he would know when it's raining and stuff, and when it's going to rain or not. So he says, "Huh, this puddle's weird. It haven't rained at all." And this is where Naruto will be on his guard, and also Sasuke, which Kakashi is impressed about their, being on guard point. This is where Naruto will be like, "Okay," and Naruto can sense the life force in the water, so he'd be like, "Give me a second," and he'll pretty much touch the water, pretty much shocking it. This is where it will make the two demon brothers hop out and jump and run straight at Naruto, which Sasuke will run in and take out one of them, while Naruto will take out the other one. Pretty much will kick ease. This is where pretty much they will tie. This is where pretty much Naruto uses electric and tie them up, kind of like a electric trap thing, so they can't really move around. They're just trapped like rope. You could say make electric rope. This is where Kakashi will use this thing and pretty much interrogate them and find out information and stuff, saying that theirs was sent after to kill Tarzan and stuff. Which pretty much Kakashi will call out Tarzan on it and say like, why are they trying to kill you and stuff? Which Tarzan will explain why they're trying to kill him and stuff. Which Naruto will say, so you're saying it's a higher mission? Which Tarzan will say, yes, it is. Which Naruto will smile and be like, well, that's perfectly fine with me. I'm not mad that he lied. Anyways, it is a higher mission. I can test out my full power. Which Sasuke agrees and says that, yeah, he wants to continue the mission too. And Sakura as well. Which Kakashi says, alright, let's continue. Now, this is where they will continue and stuff, and they will, go and creep forward. Now, this is where they will be heading to the forest, and it will be a lot of frog and stuff. Which, this is where Sasuke will pretty much throw a kunai at a white rabbit, say, huh, I could have sworn that was a person. Which I'm going to say Sasuke has, like, the one Tomoe Sharingan, but not the two yet. But he does have the one Tomoe Sharingan. And he would say he was sent a person, which Naruto would say he thought it was a person too, but I guess they was wrong. Now, this is where they will continue and stuff. And this is where Kakashi will tell everybody to duck, except for Naruto. This is where, as the sword is swinging, Naruto will pretty much catch the sword, and I'm going to say Naruto is incredibly strong. This is where pretty much he will catch the sword and pretty much say, huh, yeah, I don't know why y'all guys are ducking, but I catched it, which, this is where Naruto throws the sword back to Zabuza, which Zabuza will catch it and be like, huh, that's some quite strength, kid, which Naruto will be like, well, that's a quite big sword, sir, and pretty much joking around and stuff. This is where Zabuza would say, I'm here only after the bridge builder. Now, y'all step aside and hand him over, and I promise I won't kill y'all team, kill you and your team. Which, this is where Kakashi will, come in as a original canon saying, like, protect Tazuna, I'm gonna fight him, and all that stuff. This is where the same fight goes to original canon, until he gets trapped by the water bubble, and now it's up to Team 7 of Sasuke and Naruto to basically, come in to help. Now, this is where Zabuza pretty much created the water clone, and everything will be the same of happening. This is where Zabuza will create a frog so he can hide his presence, which this is where Naruto pretty much says, huh, you think that will work? Which this is where Naruto will form a whole cloud around the forest, which Zabuza doesn't see and doesn't even notice. Which this is where Naruto will be like, alright, I'll play your game. Which this is where Naruto will start creating a storm. And it starts raining. Now, the rain will pretty much clear out the frog, so Zabuza can't pretty much hide in the frog. And this is where Naruto will pretty much create two electric clones and stuff. And says, Sasuke, you ready? Which Sasuke would be like, yeah. This is where Sasuke will fire two fireballs at Zabuza, who's holding the water bubble, um, with Kakashi, which Zabuza water clone would slash the other one and pretty much block the other one, which this is where Naruto will come in. And pretty much he will create electric wire thing and pretty much do it side by side and run straight forward. This is where it will pretty much slice the clone, Zabuza water clone, in half. And this is where Naruto will pretty much form a fist of electric and charge straight at Zabuza, punching Zabuza right in the stomach, sending him flying, letting go Kakashi. This will pretty much shock Zabuza and also do some damage to him, sending him flying to a tree. Now, as that's happening, this is where Zabuza will pretty much get back up, holding his stomach. But this is where Kakashi says, "All right, now I'm not playing no more," and he'll pretty much lift up his eyes, showing the Sharingan. Now, this is where Zabuza and Kakashi will have their second fight. And of course, as original, he gets his ass clowned. But before Zabuza can get absolutely demolished, Zabuza will come in with a clutch, hitting him in the throat and the needle, knocking him out, not killing him. We all know that. But this is where pretty much Naruto can already tell that he's still alive because he can just feel the electric post in him, and like the whole magnetic. I'm gonna say that the whole life force in him. So you could say, at least, which he's pretty much knows that he's not dead, but he pretty much just keeps it quiet because he wants to fight him later on in his full strength. This is where pretty much they go, and Haku takes the body and leaves, and pretty much this is where they go. After that, this is where they continue going, and Naruto pretty much pulled Kakashi by the side, letting Kakashi know that Zabuza is not really dead. Which Kakashi says, "How do you know that?" Which Naruto says he can feel life pulses and stuff, that if they're dead or not, and he knows he's not dead. Which he told Kakashi sorry for not telling him, but he just wanted to get a second fight in because they kind of got interrupted by him jumping in, which Kakashi understands, but he says next time he needs to finish the job because this is a mission. So when Naruto understands it, he says he won't let it happen next time. But other than that, this is where pretty much Naruto would what happened? Yeah, this is where pretty much Naruto would Naruto and the team 7 would pretty much head to Zabuza's house, and they would pretty much not Zabuza's, Tazun's house, and pretty much start relaxing and stuff. Kakashi is not going to do the same thing in canon. Since he still have a lot of chakra, he's going to teach Sasuke and Sakura how to tree walk and water walk. Naruto already knows how to do all that stuff. And plus, he knows how to also fly. So, yeah, he also knows how to fly and use the clouds, so he doesn't really know all that stuff. But Kakashi wants to teach Naruto some chakra control for special reasons, I say in later part 3. But other than that, he wants to teach Naruto some good chakra control. So he has Naruto meditating, which Naruto listens and does the meditation stuff. After that, Naruto pretty much goes and rests and pretty much will meet Haku at the same individual canyon. Now, since Naruto doesn't know that Haku is a guy, or you could say a boy, this is where Naruto will, make his move and flirt and all that stuff. And this is where Haku will say, I'm a guy. Which Naruto will pretty much be like, oh, okay. But he'll pretty much laugh it off and be like, okay, well, that's surprising and stuff. Not feeling awkward about it. But he'll be like, well, you actually look cute as a guy, which Haku would still blush, but, Naruto, like I said, he's just flirting. He ain't about that, but he's just still flirting, as I said. But other than that, this is where they go part on their ways. And yeah, pretty much so. But after that, we're going to pretty much continue, and I'm going to stop at a certain point. But let's continue. This is where we'll continue to the part, and we skip ahead, and we're going to get to the bridge part. Now, this is where everything happens the same, but Naruto will be with Team 7 instead of being late. And this is where they will meet up with Zabuza and Haku. Now, this is where Sasuke will have his fight with Haku, and Haku will do the mirror thing and all that. And this is where Kakashi will be fighting with Zabuza. Now, this is where Naruto really want to fight with Zabuza, but he goes and help out Sasuke. Now, this is where pretty much Sasuke will be fighting with Haku, and he will be kind of losing a little bit. But this is where he will also unlock his two-Tamui Sharingan. Now, this is where he will be fighting. This is where Naruto would jump in and be like, "Hey, Sasuke, you look like you need help." Which Sasuke would be like, "Naruto, you need to leave. Like, you just got trapped too." Which this is where Haku will be shooting her ice symbol needles, and Naruto wouldn't really be taking damage. He would just be dodging all the attacks and stuff, and pretty much half of them would just be phasing through him. Now, this is where pretty much Sasuke will pretty much be trying to be dodging them too, but he will also be taking some damage. This is where Naruto will be like, "God damn," and he will pretty much try to help out Sasuke by like destroying some of the mirrors and stuff, but they just would be forming back really fast. This is where Haku will go for a killing blow um, for a killing blow for Naruto until Sasuke will jump in and take the Black Force and fall down. This is where Naruto will realize that Sasuke is down and pretty much says, "You idiot, why would you do that?" Which this is where he says, "Because you're my team member," and stuff. And this is where Sasuke will look like he's dead, but he's not. Which this is where Naruto will get enraged, but not like nine tail rage, but like enraged. But this is where the QB chakra would start develop. This is where he will start releasing a little bit of the QB chakra, and this is where his electric will start turning, like, instead of being yellow, it start turning red, like a little bit dark red. And he starts saying, for the penance, for you hurting my friend, your penalty shall be worse than death. Which this is where Haku is about to try to attack Naruto, and Naruto just lets out a big raw scream, pretty much breaking all the glass mirror with electric. This is where Haku Hata says, "What the hell?" And Naruto would pretty much teleport with quick speed, like electric quick speed, and punch Haku right in the stomach, making him cough up some blood. This is where he will do the same as original as canon and start comboing the shit out of Haku, like lifting him up and comboing the shit out of him. This is where he will kick him down to the ground and straight up create a lightning electric sphere and pretty much throws it right at Haku. This is where Haku barely has time to dodge and gets hit by it, and a full little boom, like lightning strike hits Haku. This is where Haku straight up gets hit by it in shock and nearly burning the shit, doing some severe burns, but also like burning off some of the destroying some of the chakra points. Not destroying it, but like cutting it off. You could say like damaging it, like cutting it off, so he can't use a lot of chakra like that, and it pretty much falls back to the ground. Well, pretty much down in the ground. This is where Naruto is about to finish the job until Sasuke coughs up, and Naruto runs back and says, "Are you okay?" And he says, "Hold still," which he pretty much uses electric thing and starts healing Sasuke. And Sasuke pretty much is saying what happened, which Naruto says it's okay. He took care of him. Which as Haku is about to get back up, this is where Zabuza is about to at the point get killed by Kakashi, and pretty much this is where Kakashi is about to run with the lightning ring to kill Zabuza. But this is where Naruto comes in and blocks the attack, pretty much getting hit by it, but it doesn't hurt him at all. Like, he gets hit by the thing, but it doesn't like go through him or anything. This is where he pretty much, like, as Kakashi thought he killed Naruto, this is where Naruto pretty much saying, "It's okay, Kakashi, I didn't get hit by it." Which Kakashi saying, "What? How?" Which this is where he says, "Come on, I'm lightning." Which this is where he pretty much look at Zabuza saying, "Do you really want to continue fighting this fight? Because I just saved your life from getting killed." Which this is where I forgot his name, but you know the guy, the fat guy with glasses, and I forgot his name. I don't like that guy, but pretty much he comes in and says, "Huh, look like you still haven't killed them yet, Zabuza. I knew I should not put my money on you, useless bastard." Which this is where he brings all his henchmen and stuff in. Oh, Gato, I think. Yeah, Gato. Yeah, pretty much Gato. He comes in. He's like, "Yeah, you useless bastard. I knew I should have not relied on you. All right, man, kill everybody on this bridge. including Zabuza and that damn boy of his, Haku. Which this is where Naruto says, "Oh, damn! Even though you hired him, you still want him. You still want him dead. Okay. Well, I got something for you." Which this is where Naruto will create some electricity around a bunch of clouds and stuff, and says, "Hey, do you like lightning?" Which Gato says, "What the hell does that mean?" And he says, "Oh, you'll see." And he basically dropped down his hand, kind of like Karen, but a bunch of lightning start striking down like choo, and it's just like striking all of them down, turning them all to dust. And this is where Naruto pretty much says, "All right, that's over with." Which Zabuza is shocked, but he realized that he's not gonna win the fight. So he pretty much gives and says he's gonna quit on this job and not do it and live a better life. Which Naruto says, "Glad to hear it." And this is where he pretty much goes to Haku, heals Haku up, and takes off the mask, pretty much realizing that it was the same dude he met, and saying, "Oh, it's you. Oh, sorry that I almost killed you." Which Haku is all healed up, saying, "Yeah, no, it's my fault." Which Naruto smiled. Now, after all that, the bridge gets finished, and the bridge is called the Great Naruto Bridge, or should I say the Great God Naruto Bridge? You could say. Pretty much, the mission becomes success, and they pretty much head back. Now, this is part 1 and 2 of What If Naruto Was Zeus. If you like, let's get this up to 100 likes or maybe 50 likes, and I'll do part 3 and 4 together, or just part 3. But anywho, I'm Keisha and Chia. Thanks for watching, and peace out, guys.
It looks like you lost another one.